What is going on, everyone? Mr. Mom Collectibles. I am back with another Marvel Legends unboxing and review, and this is one I'm really excited for. This is the Marvel Legends series, Secret Wars, the brown and yellow Wolverine. Now, I already unboxed the black suit Spider-Man, which I was really looking forward to getting that one out and giving my thoughts on, and then this is the Wolverine. These are the two figures I was most excited for when these were announced by Hasbro. Once again, loving the throwback, card back style, Marvel Legends Secret Wars, very classic, very retro if you're into that kind of look, and then showcasing the figure itself. He's pretty basic, the figure. He comes with a pair of fisted hands, claws, sculpt, and the little shield. Now on the back, you have the artwork, once again, kind of showcasing Logan, Wolverine himself, and then the figures that are in the series, and then showing you how to swap out that disc and or that like the shield that he has, which I'll show you guys a little bit about that as well. And so, like I said, looking at this, I'm really feeling the look. Obviously, if you're looking at this already and you have some Wolverines in your collection, you're going to start seeing some pretty, recycled parts. So there might be some new stuff on here, but mostly I think it's recycled from previous Wolverine figures. So we're going to take a look, and like I said, I have a few other Wolverines I'll do this comparison with, and then kind of show you guys some pretty cool photos of the original version from 40 years ago. Now, like I said, this figure comes with an alternate head sculpt. I'm really liking that smirk, that grin that comes on the figure already. And then there is the reflective shield, replacement disc. Like I said, we're going to take a look at this and get this one out of the way. And these are like shields that you can display on the figure, and it's reflective, so it shows you Logan and then, Wolverine, and you could have him actually holding it, which is kind of what it was with the original figures. So that is why these are made, if no one is aware, that these did come with the original Secret Wars figures back in the 80s. And so it's just a nice little callback to that. And then you also have the Secret Wars replacement, which is showing 40 years. So if you want to swap that out, you can do so. So looking at the figure, popping this out, the first thing, a lot of the components I notice here are being used from the 97 Wolverine with the pinless arms and the look of this. The head sculpt, though, is a little bit different, but the body and everything like that is pretty much identical to the 97. So if you have that version, you're not going to be pretty shocked about anything here. But it does still look good. I love that smirking grin. It's something different. I'm not sure if this head sculpt is brand new or it's been used before. If it has been used, drop a comment. Let me know. Check me in the comments and let me know about what's going on with that. But identically, like I said, it looks like a majority, if not all of this, is just basically the 97. Now, one thing I did notice that stands out is you do have the texture on the hair on the forearms, but they did actually paint that in. I'm sorry, on the biceps, they did actually paint that in, unlike the 97 where I didn't have any paint on my figure. You got the butterfly joints here near the shoulders, so you have the extension on the arms. Just doing a little bit of a look just to see if there's any paint smudging or bad paint marks anywhere. I didn't notice anything too bad. I saw one on the back of the like the tricep area there, and then one on the foot. There's a little bit of a smudge, but nothing too crazy, so I'm not going to make a stink about anything like that. But like I said, the articulation, everything is on point. Like I said, it's the 97, pretty much down to even, like I said, the legs, the boots, everything like that. It's all identically the same. I'm not seeing anything initially that calls out to me that's like brand new or original to this. So I think maybe the sculpt is possibly the only thing, but I do like the look overall. The color tone on it is much brighter, so when you think of a classic brown and yellow, this is more like an orangish yellow, but like I said, there was a reason for that, I believe. So if you're looking for a brown suit Wolverine, I wouldn't say this is the pinnacle one. I know I will compare that to another one, but here is the head sculpt, which I really am liking. The face is a little bit weird to me in terms of the expression. It kind of reminds me of the Logan Sabretooth 2-pack. Not saying that's the exact sculpt, but that look just reminds me the same. I like the way the hair is still pointed up in the points there. The paint is on point. I have no issues with that. Everything looks really nice and crisp. It looks no issues there. And then we're going to take a look at the claws. I know when it comes to Wolverine, I'm a fanatic. The claws, once again, are the 97 design, so there's nothing original here. I was just making sure that these weren't like bent. Unfortunately, the one of the claws did come a little bit bent So I'm going to have to heat that up either in some warm water or just use a blow dryer and try to hopefully get that one bent in. It's not terribly bent. It's just that's one of the things on Wolverine Marvel Legends that I'm like anal retentive about, is making sure the claws look at least somewhat decent and they're not too bent all around. But as I said, this is just kind of mimicking the 97, so it looks really good there. I really like the head sculpt. Like I said, I think that one is probably the best looking piece on this figure, is that smirking grin. I really like the way that looks a lot. And then we're going to swap out to the Logan. Now, here's the issue that I have. For some reason, I feel like this head sculpt just doesn't look good on this body. Not like because of the way it looks. Visually wise, it just doesn't look like, I don't know. To me, it just doesn't look like it's really meant for this figure. Articulation is really good on this, full range of motion, so I wasn't limited. But I don't know, there's just something about the head sculpt. He looks very like aggressive and gritty, but yet the outfit is much more bright and vibrant. So I just feel like they kind of clash. I may be kind of overthinking it a little bit, but I won't be using this head sculpt on this particular figure, but I will be keeping it for future use on something else. But I just feel like, there's something about it. I feel like the head sculpt is more serious than the outfit leads them on to believe. So that's just my feeling about it. So anyway, we're going to pop the mask back on, and then we're going to put the other claw on. This is the one that came a little bit bent, nothing too crazy, but I will try to get this one fixed. Like I said, it's not the end of the world, but I've seen a lot worse, and I've fixed a lot worse. So that's my only little, critique on that portion of it, so to speak. So overall, I really do like this piece a lot. I like it much more than maybe people might have expected to. I actually am very happy with the color palette because, like I said, it's more of a callback to an updated of the original version. However, if you are looking for a brown suit Wolverine, I wouldn't say this is the ideal version. Here is him next to the retro card back version, which is much darker and darker brown, darker yellow. And you can just see the difference there. Now, the dark brown suit, I have custom metal claws on that one. So, but everything looks identical to this, but it's more identical to the 97. The sculpt is a little bit different. So what we're going to do is I'm going to swap these over, and you're going to find that these actually pair out not too bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap and actually put the Secret Wars, which is on the right-hand side. We're going to swap this with that brown suit retro figure, so you guys can get an idea of what these actually look like. And they don't work too bad. The head sculpt on this one is very loose. It doesn't fit exactly perfect, but you can see it's actually not terrible. The yellow is off. The yellow on the body is a little bit darker versus the head sculpt itself being a little bit lighter. So there is a difference there in the yellow if you're okay with that. But it doesn't look too bad. It's just that it's very loose on the body in terms of, how it actually fits. But I like that smirking grin. I mean, if you wanted to, you could always just do a little bit of a repaint on the sculpt and it'll fit. And even like here, so it doesn't look too terrible. So we're going to take a look at this. And then we're actually going to look and swap these sculpts back. But I'm going to show you this is what the Logan looks like on the dark brown retro, and this fits, I feel like, a lot better. I feel like with the more serious look of the sculpt, I feel like the suit is more befitting for this. So this is just to give you an example. If you wanted a Logan sculpt, I think this works a lot better than on the Secret Wars, because it's not as, I don't know, serious, I guess, a nice way of putting it. And finally, this is the comparison of the Secret Wars to the 97. And as you can see, identical similarities. There's the arms that, doesn't have the paint on the 97, but it is the same sculpt, gloves, everything looks really identical here. I think just the way the sculpt sits on the Secret Wars, it makes it look like his neck is bigger, but it looks like it is identical. It's just that the head sits a little bit taller on the Secret Wars, but it's pretty much the 97 body. Now, this is where if you want to swap the sculpts, it's almost spot on. The yellowing is a little bit off. It's like a shade, but it's a shade darker, but damn, it actually looks really good on that 97. Then it's a little bit glossier, the body, versus the mask being a little bit more duller. But honestly, I think you could leave it and just get away with it. So that's the Secret Wars head sculpt on the 97, and it looks damn good. I think it looks damn good. And then this is if you want to swap the 97 on the, the retro Secret Wars. they both look really great if you wanted to do this, or if you pick up these, head sculpts on the aftermarket, so you have backups. But that 97, I don't know what about it. I actually think it looks a lot better than the original stock, in my opinion. So it would just need a touch of a repaint. If you really want to get the yellow to match 100%, you'd still have to do a little bit of a repaint, but you could closely leave that the way it is if you wanted to. But everything else, articulation, body, I think everything is just a dead ringer, just repainted a little bit differently. And then, like I said, I'm going to throw a photo up right here so you guys can kind of see what the original Secret Wars Wolverine looked like from the 80s, and I think you'll understand why the color choice on this was what it is. And then just to wrap up the video, this is all three of them. On the far left, you have a darker brown suit retro card back, and then in the middle you have the Secret Wars, and then you have the 97 on the right. I did have other Wolverine figures that I could have compared, but I think comparing it to these two was more than suitable enough to give you, the viewer, an idea of what this figure has and what it has to offer. And it's really funny kind of seeing those head sculpts all back on their original figures. I really am feeling that swap I did on the 97 where I had the Secret Wars on that body. I feel like that looked just a lot better. But let me know what your thoughts are down below. Overall, I think this is an awesome figure. I don't know if this isn't the definitive brown suit for me. I still think the one on the far left is, but this is a great piece to pick up. I really like the way this one looks. It's just a great looking piece. I'm going to give this figure like an 8 out of 10, just because there's a lot of recycled pieces on it, but it is a fun one to have in the collection. But let me know what your thoughts are. Drop a like on this video. Please consider subscribing to the channel if this is in fact your first time. And as always, enjoy your collecting. And this is Mr. Mom Collectibles saying take care, and I will see you guys in the next video.